Well, we're coming into summer. Families will be heading to the beach for the holidays and enjoying a swim. But the rate of lethal shark attacks has doubled in Australia in the past 5 years. And size and abundance of lethal sharks at Australian beaches are out of control, according to my next guest. Fred Paul is a broadcaster, journalist, podcaster, and documentary maker. Many of you will know Fred from back in 2023 when the show was on the old ADH-TV, and Fred also had a show on that platform. Fred's just completed a new documentary available on YouTube right now called The Heart of Sharkness. He points out that since Australia listed great white sharks as an endangered species and protected them in all Australian waters back in July 2000, in the quarter of a century since then, great white sharks and two other species, tiger sharks and bull sharks, have killed at least 55 people. But the scariest bit is that 21 of those deaths have occurred in just the past 5 years.
The rate of attacks will continue to rise because, frankly, few people care. In fact, many Australians have come to like and even admire these dangerous, unpredictable, dumb animals. Politicians know it, and certainly the small group of scientists milking tens of millions of dollars worth of research grants know it. I've been writing and talking publicly about this topic for 10 years, and in that time, things have only got worse. I'm now one of the few people in Australia saying we need to protect human life by killing the lethal sharks that come near us. This opinion was once routine in Australia, and our beaches were safer as a result, but not anymore. How did this happen? Why is it now acceptable for Australians to be gruesomely bitten in half for doing what they were until recently famous for doing? And why am I one of the few people asking this question?
Fred Paul's documentary, The Heart of Sharkness there. Fred joins us now on the line from Sydney. Fred, great to have you on the other side. Mate, why is it acceptable for Australians to be gruesomely bitten in half, as you put it? And why are you one of the very few people campaigning now for a return of culling, do you think?
Well, this is a manifestation of the arguments that people like you and I make every day, Damien. And this is one of the fronts on which we are fighting. You know, it is now acceptable for Australians to be killed in the water because, frankly, environmentalism has become the overriding set of values and sort of philosophy in Australia at the moment. So protection of sharks has become paramount, and the killing of humans, or you could almost call it sacrificing of humans on the altar of environmentalism, has suddenly become acceptable. It wasn't like this, you know, until a few decades ago. I mean,
and this rate of attack is unprecedented, right? Is it caused by more sharks, or could it be caused by the fact that we have more people, or we have, you know, people who are less skilled in the water? I mean, or is it definitely the sharks?
Well, it's definitely the sharks. They've been protected for 25 years. The primary objective of the Great White Recovery Plan, which was published in 2002, was to replenish the population of great whites in Australia. That's the primary objective. Of course, that's why we protect them. And ever since then, all the experts who I mentioned in passing in that introduction that you played, all the experts, the last thing they want to do is investigate whether or not that replenishment has happened, because once it has, then protection has to be lifted and they have to go and look for different, they have to alter their careers and maybe go back to Woolworths to stack shelves, because as far as I'm concerned, these people are pretty useless. I need to actually correct you on something, Damien, that it's at least 55 fatalities. There's another 3 people who've disappeared in bright sunlight for no apparent reason in the water. And these weren't, you know, these were fit people, and they just simply disappeared in the middle of the day. And so it's almost certain that sharks were responsible. So I would say it's 58, probably more, in the 25 years since great whites were protected.
Let's have a listen. I think the human toll, you underscore it quite nicely in the documentary, and you've got the story of Peter Edmonds, a 16-year-old who was taken by a shark at Ballina in northern New South Wales back in 2008. Let's have a listen.
Peter Edmonds was a 16-year-old student at Alstonville High School in northern New South Wales who took the morning off during a teacher's strike to go surfing with a friend in nearby Ballina on the 8th of April 2008. He was in the water alone when he was attacked by a bull shark and bitten twice on the leg. He caught a wave to shore and died from blood loss on the sand. 17 years later, his elder sister Kylie describes the horror of that day and the trauma her family, especially their dad Neil, still endures.
I walked into the hospital and then Mum and Dad walked out of the store and I just dropped. So they took me into another room and I'm just like, I need to see him. Like, I don't believe that this has happened. His whole calf muscle was gone. There was another bite in his thigh the size of a dinner plate.
What effect did it have on your dad?
Peter was his mate. So not only was he his son, he was his best mate. They did so many things together. And surfing was a big thing of what they did together. A few nights after he died, he just heard Peter's voice in his head. Hey Dad, it's okay. Live your life. I'm still here. And he had to process a lot.
Yeah, sad stuff. Fred, and that's been that tragedy sort of, happening 4 or 5 times a year now. What about the types of sharks? I mean, there's bull sharks, tiger sharks, and great whites, right? They're the 3, are they, that are the dangerous ones?
Yeah, they all behave quite differently and live in different places. The great whites, tend to occupy the bottom half of Australian waters. Tiger sharks are more north towards the equator, and bull sharks are like rats, man. They can live in fresh water and salt water. They're very vicious. They're apparently pretty cunning as well.
Is it only the great whites that are protected?
Yes. But there are restrictions on shark fishing around the country. I explain it in the documentary. I interview a bunch of fishermen,
Right.
Who explain that there used to be a lot of shark fishing in Australia and very few of them actually targeted great whites. If they did pull in a great white, sometimes they'd throw it back overboard. Or I have met shark fishermen, who used to use the great whites for various things. They could sell them off to fertilizer companies and things like that. All those shark fishing industries, nearly all of them have been either completely obliterated by state governments, or they've been reduced to just a couple of boats. And all of those boats used to haul in 20, 50 great whites a year, and there were hundreds of them. And that was 25 years ago.
So we don't really need to go around killing great white sharks to cull them. We just need to loosen the laws up and let that industry develop again a little bit, or...
Oh, Damien, I seriously, the solution to this problem is so simple. I mean, you revive the shark fishing, keep it under control, make sure that they're not overfishing or just, catching sharks, cutting off the fins, which are worth a lot of money in Hong Kong, and then throwing the rest of the fish back. Nobody thinks that's a good practice. You return shark fishing under strictly managed conditions. That'll keep the numbers under control. And then to prevent them coming near surfers and swimmers, you simply do what the New South Wales government, the idea that the New South Wales came up with in 1937, its track record is almost impeccable. It is these protective nets that will occasionally kill a shark at a beach, and as a result, the same sharks of that species stay away. It's a proven, observed phenomenon, acknowleded by fishermen.
They learn. Yeah, it's a learned behaviour in the species.
Fishermen and scientists. I was speaking to someone last night who said even birds do the same thing. These species know where places become dangerous, and if you put nets at beaches, sharks will stay away. It's as simple as that, and the statistics prove it.
One of the most interesting things about your documentary is the vox pops, the street interviews that you did at Manly Beach, which give a kind of a snapshot of how people think these days. They don't seem to be too much in favour of bringing back culling. Let's just have a look at a few of those.
Anyone dying is unfortunate, but there's probably bigger issues, I'd say, than the sharks. We do love going to the beach. We want to make it safe, but I don't know if killing the sharks is the way to do it.
Is it okay to get rid of the sharks at the beaches where we go to?
I think so,
Why is that?
because it's their home.
Is a shark's life more important than a human's?
I don't believe that anything should be killed intentionally. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks.
It's their water. I feel like we're their guests.
It's your water too. You love the ocean, don't you?
I do, but I don't live in it.
That's their home. We share it. We don't have to put nets out.
What,
Use your drones and everything else.
what happened to the snakes that used to live here?
They're still here, mate.
Well, it's pretty safe to walk around here. There's no dangerous animals living on the land because we got rid of them.
You got your argument.
You've got to be joking.
Why? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saving lives?
Save the sharks' life. Yes,
Why?
they own the ocean.
Is a shark's life more important than a human's?
Yes. Hell
Really? Why?
yes.
Why?
Because we are encroaching. They live in the sea. We are more important. Tell me why we are more important.
Well, we're more talented, we're more intelligent, we love people.
How do you know that sharks don't love people either?
They eat them.
Mate, you were not the most popular guy at the beach that day.
No, I copped a lot of heat that day, mate, I tell you. But I couldn't have scripted it better. We came away from it going, I never expected someone would have told me, how do you know sharks don't love people? It's just outrageous. But the two things that were the most important thing was, we got rid of the dangerous animals where we live. So why can't we do that at the beach? They
Yeah,
couldn't
the
answer that
snakes. Yeah,
question.
yeah.
And the other question they couldn't answer, to my satisfaction, really, was: is a shark's life more important than a human's? People really feel uncomfortable answering that question because they generally think, well, no, sharks are more important.
Yeah, we have a very anti-humanist mindset in the environmental movement, right? It's this, and it's really permeated public culture, as you can see there. I mean, I'm not comfortable with killing living creatures either, and it is their ocean, et cetera, but they can't be swimming up and killing people. And it's not just the fatalities, it's the injuries too. 300 plus.
Yes, yeah. Most of those are minor, to be fair. But there were, I think, 79 serious injuries in the past 25 years, and some of those include people who've lost limbs.
Yeah. Well, mate, it's important. It really is. And I'd love to talk to you for ages about it, but unfortunately we are out of time. I just want people to go and watch that documentary of yours. I think it's terrific that you've put it together. It is on YouTube at the address that we've had on the screen there, Fred Paul 123 at Fred Paul 123 on YouTube. And you can watch the documentary for free and then make a donation to Fred for his efforts and work. Mate, thanks very much for coming on the show. We'll get you back on again soon.
Fantastic. Thanks, mate.
Did you know that with a virtual private network or VPN on your computer, tablet, or phone, you can log into your favorite streaming services like Netflix from home with an internet address from anywhere in the world and watch all the shows that they offer in other countries, including stuff in different languages? And using a VPN to route all your internet traffic through a third-party server means that big corporations and big government can't spy on you. If you sign up now with private internet access, we think they're the best VPN servers out there. As a viewer of The Other Side, you can get 83% off the price of your subscription and get online for less than $3 a month. Check it out right now. Go to piavpn.com/otherside. That's piavpn.com/otherside. It's a great service, a rock bottom price, and supporting our sponsor, you are helping to keep The Other Side going and growing. That was a segment clip from our weekly Friday night news show, The Other Side, which you can watch in full by simply going to YouTube and searching up The Other Side Australia. Then you'll find our full shows playlist. You can also find all of our full shows and our segments on our own website, othersidetv.com.au. That's othersidetv.com.au. Help us build a whole new Aussie media by joining us over there and signing up for the exclusive side.